Hi everybody, welcome to my live. It is Wednesday the 27th and Lucy is just getting comfortable here. Thought I'd show you her actually sitting nicely. I don't have a lot to show in this first portion, so I'm just going to put my face on here. Hello. And what we're going to do is I just have some doodles to show and then we'll go to the desk. So I just have my doodle book, the pink one. I've had some people ask me about where to get it, and apparently it's only available in Canada so far. I haven't seen anybody able to get it elsewhere. Oh, now she wants to leave. Stay, Lucy. There we go. She's lying down again. So I showed you guys this one already. And then I posted this one on Instagram. And it's kind of a silly doodle. It's has to do with a video that my son showed me. Hi Dar, hi Janet. And then, hi Star, hi Pamela. And then this one I posted on Facebook. So I used alcohol markers on this one here. And then I just started one yesterday. I was thinking about doing some mushrooms, and then I threw a few cats in there. So I still have to color that one. I'm thinking I might use alcohol markers like I did on the watermelon one. Hi, Deb Smith. So I'm going to bring Lucy back up here before we go to my desk. So I did show her a little bit at the beginning. So I picked her up yesterday. We were in Canmore for my nephew's wedding. It was beautiful. I'll show you a picture of the gazebo where they got married with the mountains behind it. It was very lovely. And we had lots of fun. We did lots of dancing. Lucy went to the dog sitter. And then I picked her up yesterday, so she was very happy to see me. All right, so I'm gonna let her go down because she's probably gonna leave, or she's gonna lie down. You gonna lie down there? So I'm gonna turn the camera around and we're gonna actually head to the desk. Gotta take this off of here first. Here's Lucy. Hey Lulu, are you gonna leave us now? You're gonna stay. You gonna be a good girl to stay? We'll see. I'll just talk about my doodles when I get to my desk here in a second. And this is the setup I have for filming. This was my old setup that I had before I got my ring light. Hi Lizanne. Oh, she's going to go under the desk there. So sometimes she's been going under my coloring desk, but now she says, oh, you're not going over there. So she's trying to go, she's going to go under here. No, she's going around. So I'm going to put you guys up in the stand here, and then we'll chat a bit more about what we're doing today. And so that was just a very short little segment. Hope I didn't make anybody dizzy. So what I've been doing when I'm doodling is I'm using this Heat Friction Ball Slim pen. So I kind of base my doodles. So, and then you use the heat gun to get rid of the lines. So let's say I had some doodles. I doodled all my mushrooms with that. And then I trace it with my Sharpie pen, which doesn't actually go through this paper very much. And then once I've got most of it traced, I just use my heat gun, and that makes the lines go away. And then I'll colorize it. So that's how I do my doodles. Hi Nanamo, hi Ellen. You guys missed Miss Lucy. And then I put this underneath, even if I'm not doing, this was like alcohol marker. You can see how it goes through to the other side. So even if I'm not using alcohol marker, I still use the sheet underneath, because I found that just pressing with this Bic pen indents the next page. So I've been mainly using alcohol markers and then this blue, green, purple, pink Bic pen. So that's the evolution of the doodles. Again, this is the pen, and I've got a red one, a blue one, and a black one. Friction Ball. Okay, so let's, today we're gonna do some botanical printing, and the theme is Goodbye Summer, Hello Fall. This is one of my favorite gel prints I ever did, and this was in 2022. And I think I have a video called Goodbye Summer, Hello Fall, and I liked my summer print. I didn't love my fall print. So we're not going to do like exactly this, but this is what my inspiration was for today. And this is the canvas that I finished up. So I ended up gluing, I don't know if it's ready yet. This morning I went ahead and I glued these canvases on using, I don't know if it, let me see if it's going to come off. So I used those little dots of Velcro, and I used the Eileen's tacky to attach them, to help them attach to the canvas. So I used another Friction pan. I placed them, I kind of measured so the outside would be even, and then I put the Velcro here and put it on, put a bit of glue on the bottom of this one, and then I put it on and I could kind of moosh it around till it was like even. And then I thought this would be cool because if I do a spring one, I could actually interchange them. So I could, you know, have different motifs that I could change seasonally. You know, I'll just put some more, I put the Velcro on there and then I would stick it on like that. So that's been my concept for this set. Oh, thanks, Dar. She's already putting in the links there. Dar, I hope you got your Happy Mail with the snark card. So we might end up using these today to glue on our summer one. So this is the fall one. I did last week. We finished the edges of them, and then yeah. So I'm pretty happy with that. So I can hang that up on my wall. So see how they stay on there pretty nicely. So I hope you guys like that. And put that over there. So I've got for Goodbye Summer, I've got some summer plants here. This was Pontantilla, I think, from my yard. And then this is a weed from down the street. This is from a plant in my yard. This is a hydrangea that's in my front yard. And I don't know, I think that's, I can't think of the name of that. And then for fall, we have some large grasses in our yard, and I pulled these a couple weeks ago, actually. To me, those are very fall. Seed pods are very fall as well. These are from my daylilies, I think. And then these are just weeds in the field, which to me are very fall-like. So let's start with the summer one. It's getting stuck on me there. So how's everybody doing? If you're watching the replay, I should have said this earlier, welcome if you're watching the replay, and just zoom ahead to where you see the project starting. And we're actually starting pretty quick today, I think, for me. I didn't have a lot to show. Oh yeah, I was going to show you the picture of the setting for my nephew's wedding. I'm just looking for a piece of paper to put under my jelly plate so you can see what we're doing. And I'm sorry there's a bit of a reflection from my ring light. Thanks, Star. Okay, so my concept for this Goodbye Summer was I wanted to do a botanical print using like a pocket, as if it's like a shirt pocket and then you've got the flowers coming out of the pocket. So I went to the thrift store and I did find, so I'm just zooming in a little bit. I did find these little pants, these little jean pants. So these were inexpensive, and I thought we could use this pocket, but I don't know if I want, do I want the whole pant on there or do I want to cut it? Because I thought we could put it on this, you know, have the flowers come up and have it kind of like that. Let's do the whole pant, and then if we don't like it, we can cut the pocket. So we'll put the pocket near the bottom, offset a little bit. And then we're going to put these flowers coming out of the pocket. So I'm going to actually print it with the flowers in the pocket. That's the plan. And thanks everybody who came last week as well. I really enjoyed that piece that we did using the that art whisperer technique. Now, is that going to be too much? That might be okay. We'll kind of center it that way. What do you guys think? Should we put those in? Is that too much? Is that too much foliage? Because we're going to do our, I think that's okay. Those might be too high. Let's go for it. Hi, Diane. Hi, Sherry. All right, so that's gonna go here. So it's gonna be reversed, but that doesn't really matter. And because it's like little jeans, we'll probably use blue. Maybe we'll use pan pastel to colorize the blue as well. So do we want to do should we use black? I'm not going to use a open paint today because we don't want it to take too long. Just thinking, do we use, let's use Prussian blue. Hi, Robin. Okay, so I'm going to use Prussian blue. I think for the fall one, we're going to use purple. But let's use Prussian blue. That's not Prussian blue. Blue with a lighter, so 2 shades of blue. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to use that as our imprint. I'm just going to put these away because we might use those later. Not sure yet. Hi, Jane. And this is the Prussian blue. I think I put way too much paint down, but that is okay. Let me get my Braille off paper handy. Do that. Okay, so let's just go for it. And yes, that is way too much paint. Way too much paint. So we're going to take a lot of that off. If we have too much paint, then we won't get a lot of details. So to take the paint off, you actually have to roll it off. You can't just go back and forth because then you're just moving it around. You're not actually taking any off. Oh, I had way too much paint. See, I'm just away for a little bit and I forget what I'm doing. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to make sure we get the full pocket in here. I'm going to do that, and we're using medical exam paper to smush it so that we get all our little details. Diane says she's sure her neighbors think she's a loopy scrounging amongst all the weeds for stuff to print. I know, I hear ya. I was doing some in my backyard, which was fine, but then I went to the empty lot beside to get some extra weeds. So I'm trying to get all those little details. Okay, and here we could do one where we, I don't know, we just use the tissue to do the detail. Maybe. Let's see see if we can get, I'm going to leave that attached there in case I decide to. That is pretty cool. I'm tempted just to bring the tissue back down and just do like a simple, almost like cyanotype print. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's just do this while it's still wet. We can always do another print. This might be kind of cool. I think there's a flower in there though. Let's get that flower out. I wasn't planning to do this like the one step printing. No wrinkling, yeah, except I put it on with wrinkling because I was pushing so much. That might look cool. Let's see. Let's see what we think. That is kind of nifty. Gives us the blue jean vibe. I had planned to use pan pastels to colorize the flowers like I usually do, but I wanted to try this while the paint was wet. Maybe we can do another one and colorize that one. So I'm going to let this dry. Maybe we'll do 2 summer and 1 fall. Let's do another summer one with a little less paint. Let's get another 8x10 plate out. This one will do 2 steps. So maybe we shall use, we've already got blue on the flowers. Let's tuck those back in. And let's bring this one forward. And let's just use a bit of the Prussian blue. Yeah, it does look like a cyanotype, so I'm not going to use as much paint this time. And let's just go ahead and see how much extra paint I had. So I'm going to use this. Okay, so this one, it looks greenish because the plate is yellow. So I didn't put as much paint on this time. So we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to go for it. We're going to just press it down. Like that. But this time we'll use another paint color to pull it. Just want to make sure we get all the details of the flowers. Oopsie. We don't want that tag there. That's a good idea, Diane. Diane printed out a bunch of negative transparencies to use with Cyanotype fabric. I bought some Cyanotype paper from the dollar store. I still have my liquid Cyanotypes. Let's get some of that paint there. Get all those little details. Okay, so this one, let me just press on the fabric a little bit more. Hi, Anne. Today we're doing some hello Goodbye summer, hello spring. All right, so that's the second one. So we're gonna let that dry and then we're gonna colorize it. Put that over there. So this one looks more like, so it's not going to be as green looking. It's just because of the, my plate is yellow. So we'll have to think about our pull colors. I'm going to want blue on the blue jeans. Maybe we'll use pan pastels for that. And then do the flowers. And maybe we'll pick it up with a metallic blue. Kind of like our inspiration piece. This one has some metallic blue on it. Hello fall. Did I not say that? Goodbye summer, hello fall. Boo. Okay, so we're gonna let that dry. And shall we see if this other one's dry already? All right, make sure I'm on camera. It's pretty good color for jeans, isn't it? So it does give us that sort of cyanotype feel. So if we did put it on our mini canvases, just wondering. I wish it was hello spring. No, it's goodbye summer, hello fall. So if we did that, I don't know if those are big enough to get everything. No, it's too big, right? It's not going to fit. Because the pocket ends there. If we do that, that wouldn't be bad like that. Then we cut it. It's a nice butt print. Okay, so we'll do the other one and then we'll decide which one we're going to put on this to interchange with our canvas here that if you're just coming in, I attach these with Velcro dots so I can switch them out with the seasons. So I like that one. If we don't use this one, I'll put it in this book if we don't end up using it there, because I do have some blue. I've got that print here. I think I have another blue one in this one. Yeah, I've got these two blue pages. We could almost put it here. I could put white. I could cover this with like white gesso and then glue it on. So anyways, we've got options. I'm just gonna go close my door for a second. And oh yeah, I said I was gonna show where my nephew got married. He got married in Canmore. And I'll just show you, I took a picture before the ceremony and just share that with you guys. So this was their wedding site. Here, let me just turn this off for a second. So that's where they got married with the mountains behind, and we sat over here and it was just beautiful. It was a beautiful, beautiful day. Just lovely. Okay, so let's put this aside. And I wasn't planning on making the fall one fit on the canvases. I feel like the one I have on there is already kind of fallish, but I thought we could use Big Peggy. Yes, it was stunning. Absolutely stunning. I thought it might be neat to try to pick up this print with this Braille paper. That might be kind of cool. So we're just experimenting. We can, yeah. So let's do, so we're thinking kind of like a square print. So I'm just going to lay these out. Oh, there's like a little critter there. Sorry, little, it's like a teeny spider. Sorry, guys. Okay, I did try to shake these out first. Whatever you put down first on the gel plate is what's going to show the most. So what if we did something like that? So it almost looks like it's blowing. Would that fit on this? I think it would mostly fit. These are really long, like these here, I actually cut them down. Like, look how long they are. I actually cut down a piece, like they're really tall grasses. But I thought I'd keep this end to maybe do like marks and stuff. So it's, we drove home all the way yesterday, so it's only 4 hours back. But what we did is we drove to Calgary, stayed the night in Calgary. Their wedding was actually on Monday, and then we drove back on Tuesday. Hi, Jackie. Star says her niece is getting married next summer. She wants an outdoor venue like that too. Yeah, it was very beautiful. All right, this one, let's do purple. I'm going to show you, I did look at an image from Unsplash, which I thought would be cool for the pickup print. Here, let me just put this on split view. So these colors might look cool, or like really dark, like a dark black. Maybe we do black, like black purple, and then we pick it up with like a lighter purple and an orange. No, that one's I think we're gonna go for that kind of look. So we'll do like, we'll pick it up with like purple, pink, orange, pink, dark purple. And then we'll have the pieces all kind of like a dark purple, blackish. I think that would be a good, we'll try it. Okay, so we want, I think we want dioxazine purple. And then I do have this lighter purple for maybe pickup, the prism violet, or prison violet, as Eddie would say. Dioxazine purple with like a little bit of black. Okay, so we've got a little bit of black, and then the dioxazine purple. Thanks for hanging out with me, people that are here. Thanks for those watching the replay. I appreciate all the support and encouragement and the watching, and okay, so this plate is, I call Big Peggy because Peggy Fitzmaurice gave it to me, and it is a 12 by 14 gel plate. Okay, let's see if we can remember how we had these. We had that one, we had something like that. That looks like a hair, so we're gonna have a hair. And these are little pods here. This might not be exactly how we had it, but that's okay. So these ones, there might be some pieces that fall off. But I think what we could do is we could just let them be incorporated in the final piece, you know? I'll put that down there. And I'm just going to use this to get our imprint. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Keeks. I need another piece of paper. Well, thanks, Diane. I look forward to hanging out with you guys every week, too. I'm trying not to, the seed pods are quite, like I'm trying not to move them sideways too much. Definitely want all those little individual hairs. We want some, this is where it's good to use the open, because then you have time to get all these details, but I wanted things to dry pretty fast. So that's a nice dark purple. I think that's going to look cool. Even this piece here, you could use it, right? And I might try to get just a little bit more detail here. Okay. All right, so I'm going to put those aside. And there is some fluff in there, but I think we'll just let that be part of the print. Hey, Janet. Janet Young. So this one, if we do it based on this sunset view, I'm tempted to put a circle, like either a white or like a very light yellow, but I have to let this dry first. I feel like that's a bit clunky, but we're just going to go with it. All right, so we're going to put this one aside to dry. Diane says, it's so hot here that I had to start using open paint for everything. Yeah, we're having a bit of a hot streak right now, but we have air conditioning, which makes it, I guess, a little bit dry. All right, so this one should be ready for us to colorize. And here's the first print we did. I'm going to put my light back on. So there's the first print. So I'm going to actually use blue from the Pan Pastels. Actually, I could use just paint. Maybe we use paint. Okay, let's use our Pan Pastels. It's a very dense. I'm just thinking, am I going to be able to get any pink in there? It's a lot of dark paint. Could probably get some green. Okay, let's see if it's, I think it's dry. Let's get our Pan Pastels out. I'm just going to put this over here. could do is, let's think about, maybe we'll do blue here, and let's use like a yellow as the pickup here, like a light yellow. Or do we use white? I have to think about this before I start putting my pan pastel. Or should we use, we could use this turquoise here. Let's do that. Let's use our pan pastel to do the jeans. What the heck? And then we'll just pick everything up with metallic white. So we'll colorize the jeans and the foliage, and maybe we'll just leave the top like that and just use metallic white. That's my final answer, Alex. Yeah, the fabric is very cool on the plate. And originally I was looking for more like a shirt, like a kid's shirt pocket. But I didn't find one, but I found these jeans. I thought they'd be pretty cute. And then once we pull this, we can decide which print to use on our 4 grid collage. Did I say hi to you, Kristen? Hi, Kristen. Oops, I got a little bit of red there. Oh no. I gotta try to wipe that up. This kind of scooched. I don't want red there. I'm gonna have to use baby oil. That's not gonna look right if we have red there. Okay, so I just put a teeny bit of baby oil on here. Oh man, I'm gonna try to just surgery remove that red. Okay, so I got most of it. So I have to let that dry. Whoops. I should probably kind of do that so that it blends in. Well, that's a bummer. Janet, someone called this a bum print. So I have to let that dry before I put the pan pastel there. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'll have to be more careful. I think I was trying to go too fast. You know what, I probably have a bigger sponge I can use for this part. Let me get one of my big sponges if it has a blue section. Because that was taking a while. I know, right, Kristen? So we had lots of fun at the wedding, and we danced all night. Danced and danced. It was kind of like electronic dance music where you just kind of jump up and down. So I'm trying to go both ways with the pan pastel so that if it's not complete coverage, at least it looks like fabric. Right there too. Okay, we're going to try this section here. It feels pretty dry. Okay, hopefully we successfully repaired that. And then just a little bit up in here. Okay. Yeah, I bought a new set of like the pointy ones. So you can get like replacement tips for your pan pastel soft tools. And I don't remember how much this was, but this is for the pointy one, which is, I use that one quite a bit actually. And if you don't have pan pastel, just go ahead and use makeup. You know, see if you like the process before investing in the pan pastel. Okay, so we're going to be picking this up with white. So we could use orange and pink and green. Let's do that. Let's use a little bit of orange here. Hint of orange. And we'll use some pink on those. So these were my hydrangeas that actually grew, so I was pretty happy about that. And then here I don't really, it's hard to see where the actual petals are, so we're just going to kind of do essence. And I think the rest we're just going to do green. I only had, oh no, I had those potentilla flowers, didn't I? But I can't see where they are. Let's look at our first print to see if we can, because we had them basically in the same zone. I think maybe though, are those the, okay, let's just put a little bit of yellow. And if it doesn't quite, maybe it's, those are the potentilla, I can't. And the yellow with the blue is going to look kind of green, so it might, you know, blend in okay. All right. Hi, Erica. Jane said she found soft pastels in stick form in form while thrifting. Fun to try them out and can shave them into powder. Oh, you're welcome, Star. Okay, so I'm just going to use mostly this sort of lime green color. Although let's use a little bit of dark green first. Maybe just this one. Let's see, what's that one called? I have to look it up. So permanent green and bright yellow green. So this is permanent green and this is bright yellow green. So we'll do a bit of the permanent green just in some spots, just to give a little bit of shading. I'm not going to use any purple on this one like I did some of my botanicals. I've used purple with the green. So we're just going to kind of do that. And then I'm going to just do this light green for the rest. And then with pan pastel, because they are dry, we can just go ahead and pull it right away. Now we could add a little bit of texture on the top there if we wanted. Not sure. And then the other thing we can do is we can lift it up to see if we missed any huge areas too. So if we lift it up at an angle, you can kind of see through. So here I can see that I need more color here. And here. And probably these little sticks too. These are very fine though. And you can also just use paint, and it will, you have to let it dry, and you don't want to have it too thick. And what I did on one of my botanical prints, the ones in the vases, after I put the pan pastel on, I actually painted white to really kind of pump up the color a bit. I'm going to add a bit more pink to those. I'm just brushing off the pigment. And the pink I'm using is, hi Cindy, magenta. Now I do want to get some of the new pan pastel colors. Dee Dee showed a bunch of them. So someday when my art store carries the new colors, I will get some of the new colors. But I'll probably just buy them individually. They are pricey, but they do last a very, very, very long time. Okay. I feel like we almost need just a hint of orange here, just because, just to balance it a little bit. I wonder if we could just sneak some orange in there. We'll just see what that does. Might not even show. I'm gonna just blow on that. Okay, let's pick her up. I'm gonna put my pan pastels away. Here's the cover. And then I try to make sure I put the, yellow where the yellow is. And then we're gonna use those again for our fall piece. All right, so I do want to use the tissue, the medical exam paper, in case we decide to use this one on the 4x4 canvas. Just gives us more option. Now, I think I got a little bit of pink, of the red pan pastel in there. Let's just wipe that off. Just right here. Okay, I'll try not to use that part. I'll do the bottom. So Diane was fortunate to get her pan pastel secondhand. Cool. Okay, we're just gonna go for just the white, metallic white. And we don't need a super thick layer. I'm just gonna get my brayer off zone ready here. And I'm gonna use my large brayer to get it as even as possible. Actually, I'm gonna keep this blue. I'm just gonna turn that over. So Jane, I bought the Goo Gone spray like you recommended. I haven't used it yet. Definitely have to use it like in the garage or something though. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm gonna try to put this on without wrinkles. This is the medical exam paper. Okay, it is wrinkling up a little bit though. Hopefully not too bad. I might put a book on it. Just gonna slide it. This one doesn't have a acetate, so I'm gonna slide it on there. And I'm just gonna put a book on it for a little bit to help it get full contact. Okay, so let's look at our fall print. Okay, so this will be more purple than it looks. It's going to be this dark purple. And we're going to try to colorize it something like this. So I want to do a white circle. We're going to do pan pastel. So I need a white. Oh, I have this one. This was like a template. I don't know, I just was using my circle punch for something. But that would make a good sun. I don't want it right in the middle, but I think like we want to have enough of it showing that we can tell it's a circle. I'm thinking there would be cool, right here. And we're going to use, so Diane's friend also threw in 20 bottles of dilution sprays that she didn't like using. Wow, score. Okay, so I have white here. I also have this one looks like white, but it's actually a colorless blender. So I have the sticky there, and then this is a white iridescent. Could use that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to use this, just this white to do the circle. So I need me some clean, I need a clean applicator. So let's use one of those new ones. Where did I put, I showed you guys that set of new ones. Where did I put them? Oh, here they are. So Dee Dee explains when you put your applicator tips on, she talks about pretend it's like a little baby sock. So you just kind of like scooch it on like a little baby sock. Just like that. Scooch, scooch. Okay, so we're going to use the white. And I'm assuming this is dry. So some of these little pieces of grass are coming off, but that's okay. So we're going to put white, and then maybe what we should do is put like a yellow underneath it. I'm going to use, move this out of the way. And let's use this bright yellow underneath it, and then we'll go around it with like a haze of the other colors. Okay, so there's our white sun. See if I can get some of these little nubbins are sort of stuck. That's okay. All right, so then I'm going to put like a darker yellow, like this one here, which is almost like an orange. What color is that? It is Derylide yellow. That's hard to say. So we're just going to kind of, and then we'll use paint for the rest of the colorizing. Just kind of want that to fade out. Okay. All right. So that's all we're going to do for pan pastels on this one. And so I want to do a band of orange, then pink, then this prism violet. So let's see, let's use this as our pink, this PBO violet blue, and the orange, we could use a metallic orange. So we're gonna do an ombre. I'm gonna go this way. And then we're gonna try, this could be a mistake, trying to pick it up with this Braille paper. Is that gonna fit? Yeah, so let me cut that. I don't know where I got this Braille paper from. I don't know if I bought it from Johnny, Junk Journal Shop. Okay, so it's gonna go from there to there, right, basically that line. And it's gonna start here-ish. Okay, so we're gonna do, we want the orange to overlap I'm not sure if that has enough color. I'm gonna actually use the, tempted to use a little bit of this white paint underneath of it, just to make sure it's like super bright. That kind of mixed in a bit. How's that gonna look underneath? Should be interesting. I should let that dry. I'm gonna just use my little fan. And wipe my fingers. So when I'm doing ombre, I find it easier to roll in the direction so that my ombre is separated this way. Rolling sideways is difficult. So I want that to dry, because if I start rolling over top of it, it's just going to pull it off. Almost there. I'm not sure about this orange though. I'm just gonna look what other oranges I have. I do have this orange flash. Let's do orange flash to this pink and then to this prism violet. So this one isn't iridescent, but the other two colors are. Okay, that's dry. Gotta shake this though. Every day I'm shuffling. Oh, sometimes I get a good feeling. I get a feeling that I never had before. Oh no, I get a good feeling. You guys are so quiet. You must all be being creative right now. What is everybody working on? Take a minute to type into chat and share with us what you're doing. Okay, so we're going to do this. Okay, and then we're going to kind of go, we want to make it ombre, so I'm keeping my brayer down and I'm going back and forth so that we get a good blend, but full coverage. We'll see how that looks. Okay. I haven't done a lot of gel printing with this Braille paper, so we shall see how it works. But I want to give it a good press with my Baron. Thanks, Star. I hope so. Diane's getting her cyanotype stuff ready to go. Excellent. Now, I had a question. I have a cyanotype video. It's like, what's that called? When you use like vinegar and soap bubbles and stuff, wet cyanotype. So I did wet cyanotype a couple years ago, and I have a video, and it's pretty, you know, it's doing pretty well still. But I had a question by Jennifer Dog's Life about, I mentioned in the video about, I heard some people use wax to preserve them, and she said, what wax? And I said, I don't know. And she asked if my lamp that I made was still pretty good, like in terms of brightness. And I'll go get that actually while this is drying, and I'll show you how my lamp has held up. And then I was researching it again, and there's something called Renaissance wax, which is a non-acidic protective thing you can use, and but it doesn't really help it be totally light fast. So they still recommend, from what I can gather, using UV protective glass. So this is my lamp I made for a collab using wet cyanotype. So that's why it looks like there's like little bubbles, and the vinegar makes it kind of yellow, and the soap bubbles give it that bubbly feeling. And I had put vegetation. But the reason why it's not like a true cyanotype color, because I did use the wet technique where you use the other things. But you can see like the vegetation. Sorry, it's making noise because there's like a light in there. So that's how that's still looking. Now, if we compare that to some of the cyanotypes that I had done the same time that have been sitting in a drawer, let's see if they're more vibrant. So I've been wanting to make a journal with these and haven't got around to it. So this is one of them. So that's a wet cyanotype, and it's still very vibrant. Let's compare it to, I'm just going to take this out of the lamp part. So I don't know if that faded or if it was lighter to begin with. I'd have to check the video. So that's one of them. I've been meaning to do cyanotype again, and then we were moving and all that stuff, so I could still do it. This one I didn't put any soap bubbles on. This one when I put the cyanotype solution, I just kind of brushed it on. I left parts of the paper not colorized. And then I did rinse mine in hydrogen peroxide bath. This is on craft colored paper. And this is like sticks. I had put sticks on here, and then those are the bubbles, and some of the drippage is from the vinegar. So I don't have a lot of experience with cyanotype, but I've been saving this print for something special, but so far I've just been hoarding it. Yeah, and it's best, midday is good because the sun's coming straight up and down. Although where I live, the sun never comes straight up and down. But I'm going to do a trial using this, these prints, these papers I found at the dollar store, because the solution's already on there. So you just have to put your items on it, let the sun hit it, and then you take your items off. I think I might, I would still rinse with the hydrogen peroxide and water because it helps it oxidize, I think, faster. So I'm going to be away for part of October, so maybe I will do a video and post it then. Okay, I'm going to put some papers on some books on that to try to get it to have good contact. And let's pull our other print. Where did I put it? Here it is. Oh, it's still pretty wet. Let's get the fan out. Because I had a book on it. Oops, my lamp fell. Because I had a book on it. It's still wet, but I think it got most of the wrinkles out. Yeah, Colleen, have you used the pre-made paper? Wonder if you could cyanotype with the UV light. Yes, I think you can. I was thinking about trying like a UV light to make like a kind of do a pattern. I could try that with the paper, like the dollar store one, and see if that, what that does. Yeah, better to use it than to hoard it. I've been sort of hanging on to it thinking that I might make a, oh, my camera looks really crooked, doesn't it? Sorry. Let's try to straighten that. So Colleen says, yeah, she used paper. I remember you doing it outside. You did it like a live stream. All right, so I tried to straighten that. I don't know if I'm straight. I must have knocked my camera. Have I been crooked this whole time? Put the scissors away. Some people don't like seeing scissors. A disaster. It was fun. Yeah, I think you got some good stuff. So this is getting dry. So again, this is the first one we did, where we just did it in one shot. We put our jeans and our plants, we pressed it with the tissue paper. I didn't take the tissue paper all the way off, took the stuff away, and then put this tissue, well, medical exam paper, we put it back down. So that's how we got that one. So that one's definitely more of like a faux cyanotype. Diane says she printed out a steampunk crow holding a pocket watch in a negative transparency, and then she's going to use that with cyanotype outside to kind of make an image. So this feels dry now. And actually the wrinkles all went away. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to just kind of crack these edges. And then we're going to have some of the pan pastel left over and some of the wrinkling. Hopefully there won't be too much wrinkling. So these jeans are maybe a little bit too aqua, a little too bright. I should have used maybe more of a dusty color. So there's this print. Now I feel like that's too bright. Do you guys think that blue is too bright? Let's see if we get our little squares. So these are our little mini canvases. We're going to make a summer collection. I feel like it's not going to work on the squares. You like it, Nanamo? I think I like this one better. Let's see if we I think I'll put this one in a journal. And our repair did pretty good. We don't have that red spot and you can't tell that I repaired it. So that's good. Looks like a mountain cliff. Oh, I see that. Like this is the cliff and there's like foliage on the top of the cliff. I like this. I think I'm going to do that. I think we'll bring it down. because we're going to wrap around the corner. We don't quite have enough coverage this way, but we can just kind of use paint. Should we do that? Should we just set that on there? What do you guys think? Should I go for it? Lizanne says the blue, like this blue, right? I want to make sure this set of flowers is on there and this corner's there. Yeah, I think I'm going to use this on my canvas. So let's go ahead and glue that down. I'm going to cut this down a bit. And if you guys were here last week, I compared the Walmart matte medium, the North Shore matte medium. I compared it to the golden and the Liquitex, and the Liquitex was less milky and the golden were less milky. So we're going to do it as high as we can there. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to get some wax paper, and then by the time we get that glued, we should be able to pull our other print. And then once that's, while that's drying, maybe we can cut this one apart. Go for it. Yes, let's go for it. Okay, so we want this together. So I think I'm going to put the Liquitex on here, and then I'm going to spray this with water, and then we're going to put it on. That's my plan. So where is my Liquitex? So here's the Liquitex matte medium, and I'm going to use a pretty big brush, and we're just going to slap it on and fold it over the edges. Okay, Dar, thank you. And then I'll have to finish the edges on the inside separately, like I did the other one that we showed today, this morning, at the beginning. Here's my baby wipe, and here's for extra matte medium if we need it. Okay. So we're going to make sure we have it all covered. I probably put too much matte medium. Just going to put some of the extra in here because we're going to cover it, the surface, with the matte medium too. So if anybody in chat knows more about how you protect your cyanotype, feel free to share it with the chat. Okay, so that's a lot of matte medium, maybe too much. It's funny, I don't even remember when we did the one that I showed you before. I don't even remember how I did that. Like, I remember doing it, but I don't remember, did I do them all together like this? I think I did. So it's another reason to record yourself. Sometimes you forget what you've done yourself. Okay, I'm going to spray this with some water off camera, and then hopefully we can lie it down pretty flat. Okay. So I'm standing up. I want the pocket. Okay, I want that there-ish. Oh, I gotta move it over a little bit. Now, last week I was talking about the White Lotus, but I forgot to mention that it is quite risque, shall we say. Oh, that's too high. Okay, kind of like that. There, I think that's good. It's a little bit wrinkled. And you want to make sure this paint on here is dry, otherwise you're going to smush it. So that's why I didn't, even though I thought I would use this one, but just in case, it's best to let it dry a bit so you don't get all the smearage. So I'm not going to wrap the edges yet. See down here it's smearing a little bit, but that's okay because I don't mind if we get a little bit extra blue there. Okay, and I'm going to just leave it like that, and then I can, once it's dry, I can cut it apart, and then I can wrap the edges. Okay, I put that over here. All right, let's see if our other, so some of the blue did come off, so ideally you'd let it dry longer. And Star says she's looking to buy a holder arm for her iPad or phone to record and film. Yes, and then you, if you you record yourself and then you're like, how did I do that? You can like watch it back, right? Even if you're not posting it. Okay, I'm just wiping my hands. So this one we're going to put in a journal, and then we could do is tempted to, I think when I glue that down, I think I might make this, put like a wash of like Prussian blue on here, just a light wash to tone down that white. So I don't know if I'll have time to do that today, but if we don't, I will show you next time. All right, let's see how our other one is doing. Some wrinkles. Definitely got some wrinkles. I don't know, I think we might have to do that matte medium trick where we use the matte medium to get more pickup. Feels dry though. I used metallic white for this print. The first one, I didn't do a pull. It was like it was a monoprint just using the one color. So I used the blue, pressed down the stuff, like put the stuff down, used the tissue paper to pick up the paint around it, lifted up the tissue paper, kept the top attached, took the jeans and the foliage out, and then put that same tissue paper down. So there's really no pull color of that one. But you could pull it with matte medium. You could pull it with clear. All right, let's see if this worked. And this is Braille paper, so I didn't really pay attention to which way the dots were. There's our sun. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I'm tempted to try to pick up a bit more of those. What do you guys think? Do you think I should? I definitely need to put matte medium here. I need to pick that up more. I think I'm going to put down the matte medium and put this back down to try to get more. It's just like a little bit too wrinkly. So I'm going to go as far as I can while keeping it attached. And that's called keeping it registered. So keeping it registered. And then we're going to use a little bit of this matte medium to try to get more of this onto the paper. So it's a little bit of a cheat, a little bit of a hack. Right there, I'll put that on there too if I can. Looks very matrixy, hey? And just put it down, and then we're going to let it dry. Diane says, I wonder if that has a higher content, water content. I haven't had a problem with that much wrinkling with exam paper. Do you mean, does my paint have a higher water content? Or maybe I just put more paint on, like maybe it was, I could have made it thinner so there's less paint. So this is acting like a clear acrylic glue to hopefully get more of that, more of those markings on there. So I'm just going to rub it a little bit. Still wrinkling a bit, but hopefully we'll get a little bit more. So this is Braille paper. The metallic white for the pull. Oh, if it has a higher water content? Probably not. I just probably put too much on. So this is still wrinkling, so I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ahead and put some books on this again to see if we can get full contact. And then let's go ahead and put that other print in a journal. So I could either put it in this one, or I could put it in this Dilutions one. Let's see. So that one we're going to do. So I would put it on this page, which is a cream colored page. Let's do that. Let's just go ahead and put it in here. I'm going to use, because if I put it in this one, I would want to put white gesso on the text to kind of cover it, I think. All right, let's get a ruler. Thanks, Call Me Glitter. Okay, I gotta just... I appreciate you guys all coming. So in October, I'm going to be gone for a while. What I might do is I might do a stream before I leave, like on a Tuesday or a Monday, or maybe the Sunday would be better. And then when I get back, I might do an extra stream when I get back to show my haul. I'm actually going to Japan on a cruise, so it's gonna, I'm hoping to hit the stationery stores, and I should have hopefully lots to show you guys when I come back, not art wise, but probably haul wise. But that's in October. So September, it's streaming as usual, except this Saturday I'm going to be a guest on Biddy Penny's channel at 11 a.m. Eastern this Saturday. I should have mentioned it earlier. So this Saturday I'm going to be streaming with Biddy Penny. Okay, I need to go a little closer there because let's do that. I'm just going to do that. And then once this is glued down, we could probably tone down that blue. It's just a little bit too bright. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Liquitex medium to glue that down. Just trying to find a piece of wax paper so my pages don't stick together. So today we'll have 3 prints. We'll have the fall print and then 2 of these summer prints. And we're finally getting good heat now. We haven't had a lot of temperature, like nice temperatures here. All right, and that's the medical exam paper. And I'm gonna try to smoosh it down so it's not too wrinkly. probably should have maybe wet it a little bit more. I think this is drying out underneath, and put a little bit more. Yeah, it's drying. We definitely want our pocket to show. Yeah, it's drying. There we go. A little bit more up here. If it comes off that easily, then it's definitely not wet enough. Thanks, Dar. Dar put the link in for Biddy Penny's YouTube channel. She does a lot of card making, so I think we're going to do some jelly printing and then some card, make a card from whatever jelly printing we do. I think that's the general plan. Okay. Sorry, I'm off camera there. There we go. Star says when she was a kid, one of her school projects was a book report was sent to Osaka, Japan, to your twin school. Wow, that's cool. Yes, I feel very fortunate. This is just a silicone scraper I got from the Dollarama, I think. It wasn't I don't have one of those catalyst, fancy catalyst wedges. Yes, Jane, it's hot here too today. I'll take it. We have to store up all that vitamin D before winter comes. I do like how the plate had a bit of pink left over, and that kind of made a little border there. I think that's kind of cool. All right, let's do a little wash of I'm gonna use this gloss glazing liquid and a little bit of the Prussian blue. And we're gonna make these jeans a little darker. I think the ratio is half and half. I don't need very much. Okay, so I got the gloss glazing liquid. I put a little bit in there. And then we're gonna put, do we want the Prussian blue? You can put a little bit and see if it's, or I could use fluid, but let's just see what color we get from that. Yeah, that looks like jean color to me. Let's see, let's do a test. Maybe a little bit of water, thin it down just a bit more. If we don't like it, we can wipe it off before it dries. Because I don't want to lose this fabric texture. Okay, let's see if that's too dark. Is that okay? I think that's okay. Just felt like it was a bit too turquoise. I wanted it more denim color. And then this also fills in those wrinkles a little bit too, right? What do you guys think? Is that a little bit better? More jean color? Whoops. A bit too much there. Just kind of. Okay. I like it. I'll bring it up to show you guys. So we'll put the date on that in a minute. Much better, yes. It was too aqua. So there we go. That's our. We could even put words on this. We could put Goodbye Summer on the pocket, but I don't want to get rid of all that. Maybe at the top we could put Goodbye Summer. I'm not sure. I don't always put words on my prints. Where is my... Oops, I got a little bit of water on there. I'm sure I'll do a bit of a giveaway with some of my stickers and stuff from my Japan haul. How to get the crackles in it? You'd have to watch back. So it's medical exam paper on the gel plate, and it wrinkled a bit when I put it down, so it crackled. Okay, let's get out our little canvases. Where are they? I think I put them on the ground. No. There's our cyanotype. Oh, there they are. Okay, let's see if these are ready to split. Still tacky. Let's put the fan on these, and I'll go check. I'll go check the fall print. And I gotta plug in my iPad because I am almost out of juice. Okay, so that's drying. Let's see. I'll take a peek at this one here and see if we got more. I can't tell. Check this other side here. Not as much as I'd like, but I think I might just go for it. Okay, let's just do a little share the drying time. Okay, let's just put this aside here. And so there's still a lot there that didn't come off. We could try again to get that, but I think think we'll just have to be satisfied with this. So that's our Hello Fall. So I think I would cut it there. Let me just, I'm going to do a pickup print with that, I think. So remember, that's dark purple. So that's on the Braille paper, which I haven't really gel printed with much. So it's not bad for a first time. Could be better. It doesn't quite look like my inspiration photo, but you know, we can work on these things. I got the medical paper on Amazon. If you're in the States, Jackie Bernardi has a link to the medical exam paper that she uses. I'm not, so I used one that Diane Bell recommended to me. Let's do this to blue. So I'm just going to do a pickup print. Just going to do, whoops, that's too much. Okay, and here is the first, the smush paper. Okay, so let's do this. Just gonna do an ombre to pick up the extra stuff. This is the PBO blue-green and pink violet blue. This is definitely not everybody's, you know, favorite color. And I don't have a piece of paper ready. I'm just gonna use, oh, I don't want to use that one. Ah. Is this big enough? Nope, that's not big enough. So you should always have your paper ready, people. All right, this is just cheap paper on the roll. It's not tissue paper or anything like that. And we're getting wrinklage because it's not a very thick paper. So when you have paper that's not very thick, if you have a lot of paint on your, or even just a little bit of paint to pick up, is going to wrinkle a bit. If you don't want wrinkles, then you use a heavier paper. So I almost use a mixed media paper, but it's the one that I use to store my big plate, so I didn't really want to use it because I didn't want to have to cut another one. But we'll let that dry. And wrinkling's not the worst. And Diane says that the medical exam paper usually doesn't wrinkle too much. Okay, let's see if that's not quite dry enough to cut. I want to slice these to see how they look. Okay, I'm going to put this down. So that's just a ghost print anyhow. We'll probably use that, tear that up for collage paper. And this is our print. I wish it was more orange in the middle to go with this orange there, but it's something. It feels cool. It feels cool. All right, let's see if we can dissect this. Jane says she has an Oriental journal, but a Japan one would be fun. I have stuff for a, I'm going to call it an Asian journal that I have had put aside for a while. At this point, I might as well just wait till I come back from Japan before breaking it out. Okay, let's just go for it. Ooh, very wet. Very wet in there. Okay, let's just see if we can cut this without ripping it too badly, because I do want to see how it looks. Oh, it's ripping. Oh, let's heat gun it. Let's heat gun it a bit, because it's not a jelly plate, so it can take the heat. Will I show you everything I buy? Yes, I will. All the art stuff anyhow. It's all I'm planning on buying is art stuff. Okay, let's try that. That one looked good. We'll use some of these extra pieces to fill in the sides. We're almost at separation. Aha. Okay, so let's just wipe these edges a little bit. So lots of matte medium there. So that's going to be, this is the right way up. Okay, so how are we doing for time? Oh, we're good, actually. So maybe we'll have time to wrap those. I'm tempted to wrap the top and the bottom and leave the rest just white. You know what I mean? I'm tempted to just leave it, like I can wrap it, but just leave it white. Okay, well let's wrap where the color is and then decide. Hello, Paula. Okay, so I'm just going to put some here. And then I'm going to wrap it, and then I'm going to cut it. Okay. Yeah. I think I'm just going to cut it like this, actually. Sorry if my autofocus is going crazy. We'll keep these pieces in case we decide to add to the edges. Oh, I got a little bit of blue on there. So I can always repaint it white if I need to. Okay. Wrap that. Okay, there's one pocket. There's blue on this, that's the problem. I should get a fresh, I'm gonna get a fresh brush. Sorry if I'm not on the camera. Okay, so let's cut that. Rah. Let's cut this. Oops. Use my fingers here. Some of that dried a bit. Sometimes it's easier just to smush it with your fingers. Some of it's coming off. It shouldn't come off once it's dry. It's just, it's still. The matte medium kept it from drying fully, I think. And let's cut this side off here. Sometimes I get a good feeling. So I think what I'll do is I'll let it sit for a few days and then I'll decide if I want to finish the edges or leave them mostly white on the outer edges. Sorry, the inner edges. Okay, that goes there. Hopefully you can tell when they're beside each other what they're supposed to be. I was saying earlier that I'm going to be streaming with Biddy Penny on Saturday. This Saturday at 11 Eastern. If you want to come hang out with us, meet some people over there. It's always fun to meet new people in chat. Okay, almost done this, and then we'll pull that. I think we've got everything pulled, don't we? Oh no, we have the cleanup print from the fall one to pull. So I'm just kind of trying to get in there with the matte medium. And I'll just use my finger. And then once it's dry, you've got to just leave it alone, because if you start touching it with sticky fingers, it's just gonna break. All right, let's get our white canvas and see what we think. I'm going to keep these pieces here. I'm going to keep them safe in case I want to use them for the edges. I'm thinking, I don't think I'm going to, but just need to put them somewhere where they're not gonna, okay, so let's just do that. Yeah, Star Traveler's been at my streams before. Call Me Glitter is fairly new. I'm glad you guys are all chatting with each other. Now, does this look too abstract? Is it too hard to tell that it's pockets? I don't know. Sorry, I'm just trying to wipe my fingers. They're just really full of glue. Okay. So this is the one that we did before. Okay. So that's the one I finished from a couple weeks ago. And the idea is that these are interchangeable. So I put Velcro. Right, so I should be able to, I'm just going to take these all off. See, these 4. And I'd store these in a safe place. So I did use Aleene's tacky to glue it onto the canvas. So the idea is, once these are dry, I would put them here. Just going to gently just rest them there, but I would use the same, they're the same size, so the canvas should cover. So what do you guys think? Do you think that, does that work as a finished piece? Once it's dry, I could put Velcro, and then this could be like a seasonal board that I put different canvases on. Jean pockets, but they also look like satellite photos. Cool. So that's kind of my concept. Sorry, let me just zoom out a little bit. So that's our summer one. And then in the fall or the spring, I'd put this one back. This one goes like that, like that. And then I could sign here, or I could sign, maybe I would sign on the side of the canvas so it doesn't take away from it. Which is policy? Satellite photos, yeah. All right, let's see. And then this is the Hello Fall print. And I'm just gonna pull this one that's on the ground. I'm just gonna pull, this is all the extra little bits and bobs left over from that Braille paper pull so that we could rip up for collage, or we could print something on that. It would be cool to do like an image transfer and use this to pick up. I think that would look neat. I don't think we have time for that though. Maybe next time I'll do that and I'll show you guys what it looks like. And then the last thing we have this tissue paper. And then we have this print that we did, that we put down in our journal. So that's print number 1. That's print number 2. And this is number 3. I mean, I'm a big fan of blue, so to me this is the winner to me, but I don't know. Everybody has their own idea of what they like. So I think we're gonna stop there. Some days I go a little bit late. Today we'll finish a little bit early. So that maybe that something like that will be my thumbnail. Actually, I have to put goodbye spring, hello fall. We'll do it that way. That'll be my thumbnail. And I just want to say that I appreciate everybody that joins me at the live streams and that watches the replays. If you want to leave a comment, I would love to hear what you have to say or what you think, or if you have any ideas or tips of things I could have done differently, please let me know. Thanks so much, Dar. Thank you to my mods, Dar and Janet, and I think Kathy Berg was here earlier. Colleen's one of my mods, and Colleen was here earlier for sure, and I think, and Laura, there's Colleen. Thanks, Colleen. All right, so everybody have fun, and don't get too hot, and enjoy the weekend, and we'll see you next week. Okay, bye-bye. And I have to take this off. Here we go. Bye-bye. My finger isn't, oh, I have to press that button. All right, bye.